Welcome to the Monday Kickoff, everyone. Hope you guys are having an amazing start of the week. As usual, guys, in today's video, we're going to have a full breakdown of all of the events coming to Raid Shadow Legends. We have everyone's favorite game mode starting tomorrow, Clan versus Clan. This time around is not featuring personal rewards, and we are getting speed gear and some immunity. I haven't seen immunity in quite a while, or at least I haven't noticed it in quite a while. Now, of course, we're going to have some summoning events during the CVC, guys. To be honest, you definitely want to save your pools. Whatever you might have left. I don't have much either. Like, I literally have 11 Voids, 4 Sacreds. That's about it, right? But I'm going to save them for the weekend because we're going to have a Summon Rush or a Hero Pet or a Deck of Fate. God knows what they're going to do. But that will allow us to get points for the Titan event. And if you're going for the 5-star soul, or you're going for the legendary relic, or anything like that, you're going to want to collect as many pizza points as possible. So we're going to talk about the summoning events and all that in a second. I do want to give you guys a quick reminder. If by any chance you haven't completed your clan quests, make sure you guys do it. I still need to do a couple of them. They will reset in a few hours. 18 hours, at least from the time when I'm recording the video. If you gotta purchase anything from the clan shop, make sure you guys do it as well. This week is definitely not looking too juicy. I am never purchasing these. Like, these are extremely expensive just to get a freaking rare relic or something like that. Very overpriced. If you gotta purchase anything from the bazaar, by the way, make sure you guys do it. Good reminder for me as well. And I think I'm going to save for that freaking Sacred Shard instead of the Void, yeah. I think it might be a better decision. More points in the events. So make sure you guys head to that part as well. In terms of events, so we have a desired soul summon pool. Basically, we have some pretty good champions in here. Newt, Arbiter, Wukong, Duchess, Mitrala, Harima, Rotos, Lydia, Sifi, Akrisia, Narcissus, Torian, Armans, Artak, Mishinaki, Elva, and a bunch of awesome epics. I am not spending money on this, like, ever, to be honest with you guys. The champions are good, but you can definitely live with most of them not being at 6-star. I mean, a few of them, yeah, would benefit hugely from it, like Duchess, Arbiter, Rotos, Sifi, even a Newt, you could say so, but not a necessity. And Armans. The rest you can definitely play around with. 4 5-star blessings is not that important because they're not like crazy powerful with a blessing in a specific content, if you know what I mean. We are going to get a tournament that will give us a pool. So that's the Sand Devil tournament. 6,300 points to get that up and running. This just started not a very long time ago. You're getting a medium soulstone, and you want to collect and save your soulstones, guys, because if you remember, they leaked on, I think was on the Google Play or one of the app stores, Apple or whatever, and they leaked like a schedule for all of the in-game events, talking about which one is going to be a guaranteed champion, which one is going to come from a deck of fate, blah, 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 all that stuff. Now, Plarium came out and said, no, those are not accurate. There are a lot of mistakes in there. It's just not real. Now, probably they've changed their plans in terms of how they are going to release all of those events in what format, schedule, etc. But keep in mind, they will be doing guaranteed events for most of these champions. They might not do it for one of them, but for the majority of them, they will be doing guaranteed events. Back in the past, when we had the event for the collab with Monster Hunter, they've done a guaranteed for all of them except the Nargigante Archer. Maybe even for that one they've done at the end, but I really don't think they did. So usually they keep the best champion out of the guaranteed pool, but they might be doing one, for example, for April. They might be doing one for Shredder. I think they're not going to do one for Leonardo. That's my guess, but they might be doing one. We're not sure. And based on what they've done in the past, a lot of these events will require you to open soulstones. So as I was mentioning in a previous video, I am saving all of my medium, all of my big ones, and of course now all of the small ones as well. I opened around 70 or so of the small ones during the 2x. I haven't got nothing out of it, so it was better if I was saving them. But the whole idea is you want to stock up on soulstones. Don't just open them, and try to pick them up from events if possible. Then we have a new Dungeon Diver event that just started. You're going to be able to pick up 70 pizza points from here and some materials for relics. I mean, 25 legendaries at 4,500 is a bit... I mean, I don't even have to say it because you guys are thinking it already, right? And in terms of other tournaments, we do have the Classic Arena, which is coming to an end. We have a Dragon Tournament that is coming to an end, the Tag Arena, and we have a brand new Fire Night tournament starting tomorrow. And if I'm not mistaken, we do have some 2x, 3x events on gear. So at the moment, I think the 3x on speed gear is still available. And on Thursday, we're going to have a 3x on dropping Bannerlord accessories at the Spider's Den. One thing that's a bit surprising is they haven't announced one for the Fire Night, and I'm pretty convinced we're gonna have one for the Fire Night, and they just forgot to include it because we have the Dragon Tournament 3x speed, Fire Night tournament starting tomorrow, most likely 3x Savage or something, and then the Fire Night tournament is done, and the Spider tournament starts with the 3x on Bannerlord accessories. I just think they forgot to include the Fire Night in there. If not, it would be very odd because they tend to basically make events when we're out of fusions, right? And talking about fusions, most likely they will announce a fusion either this week, either next week, and probably it will start next week because that's just the way it goes, right? Like fusion after fusion after fusion after fusion. So you might want to keep that in mind as well, okay? Because right now we're going to get a second summoning event for the Titan event. I think it's the second one. And it just makes sense that they're going to give us something else to basically bait us a bit more. So a fusion, I think is the right play. Even though I'm not really looking forward to another freaking fusion, but expect to hear news about an upcoming fusion. That being said, we have no update coming this week, or at least we're not expecting anything in terms of QOL changes, new features, or anything like that. But as I was saying, we do have some summoning events. So let's quickly dive into that. This Tuesday, September 9th, they're planning to launch a progressive chance event, giving you at least a 15x chance to summon the champions of your dreams. Let's be honest, 15x chances just suck balls big time. But we do have some very powerful champions. Some of my most wanted legendaries in the game, especially the freaking Void legendaries. But let's start with Elva. Elva, absolutely amazing as a support for Chimera, for a lot of different content. Either you build her on 9-piece protection, either you build her on Relentless, either you build her on a bolster, something that will enable her to basically get the job done, right? But she's a very, very powerful champion for a lot of content. Then we're going to have Grand Oak Padraig, very good ally attack champion with a very good passive. I have both of mine built in Relentless plus Impulse. Now you can build them either in Reflex plus Impulse, something like that, to basically allow them to utilize their skills more often. For Hydra, you don't really want to have a lot of Relentless sets, especially if you're like in the end game pushing for crazy damage, because you're just wasting turns. But if you're not in that situation, a Relentless set is actually really, really beneficial for most of these champions. And the clans, the Thermitor, the increased speed, the ally attack, really, really good champion. Then we're going to have a Necmo freaking Tar. Absolutely huge when we're talking about Chimera. He's good for Hydra, don't get me wrong, but his main area is the Chimera. I have two different builds on him. I have one on Affinity Breaker to deal with the magic affinity on different rotations, plus an Impulse, plus Refresh accessories. And I have one on Relentless, Impulse, Refresh accessories, right? And he's very, very fast in my team, like at around 340 speed or so. It's all about getting as many freaking A3 skills up and running, okay? Because the more turns you take in the Chimera, the better overall for you, because it works very differently comparing it with Hydra, Clan Boss, or other content. Then, we're going to have Mighty Uko. I think Mighty Uko is still very good for Karsiri, Faction Wars hard mode, Faction Wars in general. Progression-wise, it can be Hydra if you don't have better options for the block buffs, strip buffs that increase accuracy, that increase attack, increase speed, revive. Either you run this character on a stun set, you can run it on a cursed set, you can run something to make sure that Uko is going to heal, because you're not going to really have a lot of healing if you're counting on Uko as the main reviver in your team, especially progression-wise, right? But still a very good champion and very annoying with the passive. Can still be decent in PvP, but not something that is as goated as Uko used to be in the past, if you guys remember. Then we're going to have Morrigan. Morrigan is literally the best heal reduction champion in the game, especially for Amias, okay? The boss in the Curse City. You're going to have the decreased speed, which is not really going to work in there, but you're going to have Thermitter, increased speed, you're going to have strip buffs, decreased accuracy, the true fear, the heal reduction from the passive, which can be removed, speed aura for all battles. This was a fusion champion, and was never really looking too interesting as a champion to say like, oh my god, Morrigan is insane, right? But she's very, very good, at least for Amias and stuff like that. Moving on to the next one. Here we go. Cena Amber Heart. Yes, I would love to freaking get a Cena. I've just noticed I clicked on the wrong faction. She's just so freaking goated for Chimera and so freaking good for Faction Wars hard mode. I feel like if I would have her in my Faction Wars hard mode team, my life would be 100 times easier in terms of autoing stage 21. She's just so freaking good. Either you build her on a 9-piece supersonic, 9-piece protection can work, but not that good for Chimera. You can build her on Relentless plus Impulse, Reflex plus Impulse, something that will allow her to use her skills as often as possible. Lots of healing, lots of Thermitter from this champion. Then we have Lady Noelle. The craziest revive skill in the entire game. On a 3-turn cooldown with a freeze on all enemies, the HP Thermitter 50% on all of your team when she revives. It's crazy good on a 3-turn cooldown. You have the block buffs, you have the increased speed, speed aura for PvP. She is a nice champion. She was a fusion for Christmas, right? I think she is one of the best revivers in the game, hands down. It's just that revive skill is the craziest in the game, hands down. But if you're only looking at that, she might be the best reviver in the game. If you're looking at different things, other utility that she brings, the healing, etc., all that, she might not be the best, but that revive skill is crazy, powerful. Moving on to the next one, we have Vincenza. We have a lot of freaking Sylvan Watchers in here, guys. So, defense down, weakened through immunity. You're going to have the Poison Cloud, the buffs, the Thermitter, and AoE decrease attack. I have mine built on 9-piece protection for Hydra. The whole idea is you're going to get to buff with that second skill a lot on your damage dealers, right? So they will get to do additional damage because of the 9-piece protection set. You can, of course, try a 9-piece Feral. That's a decent option as well. Or even a Cursed set. I was going to say Curse City. A Curse set if you think you have too much protection in your team and you want to put a Cursed on her. Then on Wednesday, guys, of course, the same story. A 15x chance. That sucks. That will give you a chance to summon the champions of your dreams. Starting with Freya on the list. Very, very good champion. PvE, PvP. Very, very good passive. You have the shield, the cleanse, the immunity, the Thermitter, the increased defense, the provoke on the A1. It really depends how you're building her. You can go with immunity, stone skin, high resistance to make sure you're countering pretty much all of the mythical champions and all that crap. Or you can go with a more PvE build where you still need to get a resistance, in my opinion, because if you get crowd controlled, depending on what content you're doing, you're not going to be able to cleanse, right? So that's really up to you based on what you're actually doing. Then we have Balar the Lost, champion that I've got from the guaranteed, what was it? A Deck of Fate event, or was it a Hero Pet? A Hero Pet, right? Yeah, the Path of the Lost or something like that. Good for Chimera. I still did not have a chance to get him up and running on my account. I booked him. I need to get a masteries to basically see how I can fit him in my teams. It's about the ability to complete a lot of trials, but you need to make a team in such a way that you're able to bring in another damage dealer, because him on his own, he's just not going to be able to push that crazy damage. And of course, without a blessing is even more painful. Then we're going to have Queen Ancora. Very good support champion, even without Narcissus. Truth be told, Ancora and Narcissus kind of like fell a bit out of the meta for PvP. I'm still using them in 3v3. I'm still using them in a regular arena, in siege mode. But overall, she can be useful for PvE. The only problem is she's just not really bringing any healing. And that kind of sucks, right? Because she can revive and revive, but your champions will just die again. And that's basically my experience with her in a Faction Wars hard mode, right? But she's a very good support unit, very good revive skill. The A1 is very good too. I have mine built on Stone Skin. I think a 2-turn Stone Skin, if I remember it correctly. Not high resistance or anything like that, but high resistance can work really nice on her for PvP. Then we're going to have Under Priest Brogni for whoever is looking to do a team with Titus. He is a viable option, not as good as Wixwall in my opinion, but Under Priest Brogni can be very useful in a lot of content because he has a very solid kit. Like you have the increased attack, the immunity, you have a cleanse, you have increased the value of the shield, you get the shield, the HP burn, buff dispel on the enemy too, you know. So overall a solid champion. Build-wise, he is probably the hardest champion to build in Raid Shadow Legends, or one of the hardest champions to build, because he needs attack, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, survivability, speed. He needs them freaking all. Then, moving on to the next one, we have Ultimate Death Knight. Still a good champion. Definitely not as powerful in PvP as he used to be. He dominated the meta for a very long time though. Like, I feel like, yeah, it's good that he's just not the GOAT anymore in PvP, because he was very annoying. But a lot of people are still using him in PvP. Heck, I'm still using mine in PvP every now and then. But very good for PvE as well. Progression-wise and stuff. You have the continuous heal, the shield, the decreased attack, the provoke, the passives, which are really, really helpful. If you use him in PvE, you don't really want to have him extremely slow, though, like you would have him in PvP. Then we have the next champion, Spear of Nyrissa. Niame, or however you're pronouncing her name. She is in my top 2 most wanted Void Legendaries. I think it's her, Leonardo, her, and Cena, in that particular order. Very, very good because of this freaking passive, man, and just putting the block damage at the beginning of the fight too. Like, she's just such a massive champion for PvP, arena, siege mode. Honestly, I would love to freaking get her. 9-piece protection can be huge on her. Just so it basically doesn't allow the enemies to strip the buffs, or is a chance for that to happen. But you need to have a good relic on her to keep her alive like that. Then, moving on to the next one, we have Sulfurion. Very strong champion, PvE, PvP. Putting the burn and instantly activating it. Very good healing, the revive. I am using Sulfurion on daily basis, but mainly for PvP. Faction Wars hard mode was a walk in the park with Sulfurion, especially those challenges where you had to basically generate like crazy healing. Then the final champion, guys, is going to be Warlord. Yes, the new gear set is meant to stop this bad boy from locking your champions. He's still a good champion, the Warlord. I'm not really running him in PvP for quite a while. Probably it must have been like 6 months since I've used him in PvP. Before the siege mode, he's actually really powerful. The healing, the shield, the immunity, overall a solid champion. As you guys can probably notice, we do have a bunch of amazing champions during this 15x for the CVC, but as usual, I don't have to tell you this is a bait, of course, because we're gonna have a event during the weekend, either a Summon Rush, Hero Pet, Deck of Fate, and we're gonna need to summon to get Titan points. And most likely, they will announce a fusion as I've mentioned, and most likely they will start their very first guaranteed event pretty damn soon. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching, much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.